I'm Josh Wicks of Wicks Cars and Customs, and I proudly sponsor this video.
My name is James Cameron, and I love Rolls-Royces. And I want to welcome you to the Rolls-Royce and Bentley University Buyer's Guide. Let's start class. Walter Bentley, better known as W.O., was the inspiration for the cars that still exist today, which is the Bentley motor car. Bentley was originally founded in 1918 in Cricklewood, England, and it was there from 1919 all the way to 1931. Now, Bentley broke his teeth at Le Mans with a group of racers that got to be known as the Bentley Boys. The first, of course, was 1924. That went from 1924 to 1927, through to 28. And then from 1928-29, all the way to 1930. W.O. was a tremendous engineer. For example, when it came time for expanded engines, what he believed, instead of enhancing it, just make the engine bigger. Now, that concept was fought from him and the Bentley boys. But as it turns out, he was absolutely correct, because Bentley's won 3 of the most famous races at Le Mans. And back in the day, Le Mans was the way in which motor cars broke their teeth. If they did very well at Le Mans, they did very well with their individual sales. In 1930, Bentley unfortunately went into receivership. It was a blind auction, meaning that bidders were not known. And you can imagine the absolute upset of W.O. when it turned out that his most staunch competitor, which at the time was Rolls-Royce Motor Cars, actually won the bid. And for a number of years, what Rolls-Royce did was just make the Bentley the same as the Rolls-Royce, using the same chassis, the same body styles and everything, just giving it Bentley badges. And so for a number of years, literally 40 years, the Bentley motor car was a substandard Rolls-Royce. And eventually what happened was that Rolls-Royce decided finally to let Bentley have its own badge. And they did so by actually doing it with the Mulsanne S Turbo, which went from approximately 84 to 85, all the way to 87. And then in 89, they came out with the Turbo R, which replaced the Mulsanne Turbo. So for 2 years, which I do not understand why, they had the Mulsanne S without a turbo engine in it, and they also had another level called the Brooklands. So you had 2 cars in between 1984 all the way to 87 before they reached the Turbo R in 89, where these cars were exactly similar, did not have a turbo engine, but yet they promoted it as a separate Bentley. Now, to give them their due, it was on a tighter suspension, it was on better tires, and it did have better handling. But for all intents and purposes, so did the 89 Rolls-Royce. But like I said, once they put the turbo in the 89 Bentley, that is when things really shot off for Bentley, and Bentley became its own brand. And that is the way Bentley and Rolls-Royce were until the early 2000s, when Volkswagen won the bid for actually Rolls-Royce, but as it turns out, BMW also was in the same bid. They had to compromise because BMW was supplying the engines. So they came to a compromise. Volkswagen would get the Bentley brand and BMW would get the Rolls-Royce brand. And as it also turns out, Crewe, which was the original factory for Rolls-Royce and Bentley, now was exclusively for Bentley. But you want to know something, class? In the long run, Bentley, W-O, got the last laugh because he did not pass until the 70s, and he saw his cars become so revered by Bentley enthusiasts that he would come to some of these Bentley auto shows and he was treated literally like a rock star. And guess what? I have now bought a Bentley Mulsanne S. So in our next classes, we are going to discuss the Bentley brand as it pertains to also Rolls-Royce. Take care, class. See you next time. And by the way, happy holidays.